So here we are today. Ended up ordering a Boyd welding fuel tank. Got it all hooked up, put in. Was even able to keep the receiver hitch. Ended up using self-threading bolts to bolt the tank in, and then right there is one of the bolts that goes to the hitch. It was easier to pull the bed off, so we got the bed off. It's sitting there, and everything's pretty much wired up. I got to take that OBD2 and end up putting it inside the truck. We have had it to run, but it is saying that it has a faulty camshaft sensor. So we're going to be checking into that more today. I thought I would show this too. So on this OBD2 port, this orange wire is a constant power. These two black wires here are both grounds. And then this green wire, which is run to that purple wire there, ends up going to pin B58, I believe, and that ends up running your data for your OBD2 to make your code reader work. So anyways, got to get that wired in, and then as you can see right here, there's an extra green wire on your OBD2, and it's not needed to make it work. So and also I ran into this with the air intake here. If you'll look at the mass airflow sensor, it has an arrow pointing, and then it says flow, and you want to have the mass airflow sensor pointed with that arrow toward your throttle body to make it run properly. We couldn't get it to run but maybe a second, and I ended up putting the whole intake and the mass airflow sensor and everything on it like that, and then we can get it to run, but you have to keep the gas and give it gas, because if you don't, then it'll stall out if you try to let it idle. Okay, so here we are back. This is the next morning. We ended up yesterday getting the fuel tank filler, all that hooked up in the bed. Got the bed back on the truck. Got the bumper back on, got it adjusted out. I thought I would share this. If you put one of them fuel tanks on, you can take, it's easier with the bumper off of it, but you can take and go in between the bed and that brace right there and tighten up your hose that goes to your filler, because when we first put it back together, we thought that you couldn't get into there without cutting that brace, but you ain't got to cut the brace. You can go in from the side and tighten that back up. So only thing we like is getting the OBD2 hooked up. Darren got wire for that, or wire loom, and the wires ran for that. And gotta do the transmission cooler lines, and I think that should be just about it. And if you'll give me a second, I'll get my grandpa and get him to explain exactly how he went about coming up with how to get that filler neck cut into the bed.
First of all, take a straight edge on your frame where these two bolts goes into the frame. Go from center to center. Then this is where your center of your bolt holes is going to be. Then you're going to measure from the center of your hole, which is about 8 3/8. Is how far from this point to that point. Then you're going to come over here with a square and you're going to measure from this bolt hole that's the center of this, and the center of this is 5 7/8. Then when you come right back up here, do the same thing on your bed. Take these bolts, because the center of this bolt is centered in that hole that you measured on your frame. Then you draw you a little diagram like this. This is 2 holes in the frame. This is where your gas tank, the center of your gas tank filler's at. And that's, that's pretty simple.
Okay, so that's it for today's video. I'll end up getting some video of the truck running, and probably next video will be that, and then just show how I ended up getting everything set up on it. So like, subscribe, have a great day.